to Aluminum Spork, where mysteries come to talk. From ancient cities underground to UFOs that float around. Giants of the past, prophetic signs that last, archaeological fights, and strange unexplained lights. Aluminum Spork, where truth and legends intertwine. From pyramids to guidestones blown, to secrets carved in ancient stone, we're diving deep into the unknown. Hancock's theories we explore, while Congress opens UFO doors. From Göbekli Tepe's rise to jellyfish in darkened skies, mound builders of old, stories left untold, hidden history's core. We're questioning it all. Aluminum Sport, your weekly dose of mystery. From ancient text to modern day, we'll light up truth's hidden way. Join us as we investigate, where conspiracy meets reality, and history holds its secrets tight. On Aluminum Sport tonight.
To Aluminum Spork. I am Scott. This is Aluminum Spork. It is Thursday night. We usually talk like Daredevil on Thursday night, I think. And on Tuesday nights, we talk A Song of Ice and Fire. But on Saturdays, that's our conspiracies, ancient theories, all that good stuff. But I got a little ahead of myself with the JFK dump. I thought we were going to get all these revelations. And the majority of it is what we already saw in 2017. But there's a lot of people out there saying all new revelations. JFK said Joe Biden's a traitor. I actually saw that. Someone say Joe Biden was a traitor. And it was most likely RFK who said, or JFK Jr. who said that. But that's also secondhand. Someone just put his name on that. So we don't know if it was him who actually said it. Anyways, there are a lot of people saying Israel was involved. Mossad, not saying they weren't. Okay. I can't not say they were, but they're saying that, once again, the president is a shill for Israel. Tell me this. How could a man be a shill for Israel, Russia, and China? And 83 million of us are just confused by that and just don't see it. Anyways, but yes, there were redacted countries on these files, and Israel was one of them. Russia was one of them. Cuba was one of them. There was a couple others, Australia. But they unredacted a lot of the Israel ones. So I don't understand that either. I know the CGH, my friend, he'll have a lot of things to say. He says the intro, but there's a few changes you should do. For example, they show watermark on some scenes, and maybe add a cinematic filter, etc. Update the fort. Yeah, at least to a spike. I get that. AI should be able to do a spork. They can't do a spork, man. They can't do a spork. Lodanis Dragon. So, he's on his way. Yeah. Yeah, probably taking off his rainbow flag. Mike Does is in the house. Only the Truth. I probably shouldn't show that because it doesn't actually come up in my chat. Comes up here. Hilarious though. Riddle me this. What spies on American citizens and got rid of JFK? It rhymes with juice. Look, I'm not saying Israel did it. There's a chance they were involved, but who wasn't involved? Like, who wasn't? Okay. I believe we had a little LBJ. We had a little Hoover. We had Castro. We had his cuck Trudeau and future son. I don't think was born yet. Castro's son, that is. There were some things with Australia we found out, but one thing I noticed big time was a three-letter agency that's in the title um, spying on like reporters and having all their information. And now, like, one of the big things, oh, living people's social security numbers. Look, I didn't look into that yet. I guess a lot of people living like 90-year-olds social security numbers got dumped. That sucks. You know, I would be a little pissed if mine got dumped, but it wasn't mine. So what did you guys think? Any of you guys check it out? We're also going to talk about something I even think is a bigger news, and I wish I made it the title because JFK files a little of a letdown, but there are 80,000 that people need to go through. Okay, a lot of them I went through is just about Cuba, keeping eyes on Cuba, blah blah blah, Cuba. But the pyramids in the Great Pyramid in Giza, they did this special type of like sonar or radar, or I'm not the smartest guy in the world, so I'll read it later or let the guy who actually posted something on X say it. But they found structures underneath the pyramid that go like 2 kilometers down and literally like look to be like axles, like support beams with springs, and then another huge chambers underneath. So we all know that the Giza plateau, that's man-made. Okay. I think that's one of the biggest things that's overlooked in the Giza plateau, to keep that level, to keep those pyramids from disappearing into the sands or at least going down to bedrock. They built a plateau for them. Okay. The Great Pyramid has like 2 million blocks that are anywhere from, I think, 15 tons to like 50 tons. And the man made plateau holds them. I find that to be amazing, but we'll talk about that later. Um, we'll probably hit up the CIA's and don't come after me. CIA's involvement with the JFK files. I found that to be a little bit scarier. Sorry, I had it up and my computer shut down on me before, so I had to redo it. Let's see, news. I believe it was from the Washington Post or the Washington Examiner. JFK files provide inside look at CIA's shadowy Cold War history. Here it is: CIA secrets and exploits exposed. Thank you, agents. See unredacted details from the JFK files. That's a pretty good one. There are a couple others. Any bombshells? Yeah, no, not really. Not that I've noticed yet. If you've seen them, please let me know in the chat and where I can maybe find them, because I would find that to be way more exciting to read directly. All right, so let me I'm sorry. Watch why you cancel anytime. I don't want a monthly. I just want to go into you know what? These people, you can't even like read their stuff. You got to go like MSN to like read their, it's bullshit. I'm sorry, everybody. Just give me a minute. Here, we're gonna have to go with MSN's version. All right. Here we go. This sucks. I had such a better view on this before. Okay. See if I blow it up a little bit more. Nope. Yeah, there we go. Okay. CIA secrets. If I shared it, it'd be even better. CIA secrets and exposed agents, see unredacted details from the JFK files. Story by Pravina Somasundraharama and Claire, one day ago. Let's see what you guys are saying though. Please reclaim it creations. I don't have the attention span to read directions. No way in hell I'll be able to sit through the JFK files. I might be with you. The pyramids killed JFK, says Bigglesmet. Oh, Bigglesmet Mets. Um, wish I waited because I wasn't watching ReZero. I wish I waited till it was all in dub because it's freaking awesome, dude. I binged it. It was awesome up to like episode 63. Walton killed JFK. That could be true. That could be true. Lethal, maybe. Yep, that could be true also. I just saw CJH says I just saw a report that the universe is in a black hole, which just makes me go, what? Oh shit, that makes sense. But also, are we dead and not know it yet? Is the universe in a massive black hole? And that black hole is the center of a galaxy in another universe? I mean, I could see that because there are black holes in the middle of our galaxy. Could that be just an entrance into another universe? I It makes sense to me. Nothing escapes a black hole, but where does it end up? I mean, it probably stretches what's near it to a degree of almost breaking it down to the molecular structure. But like once it shoots the big bang out the other side, it just create a new universe? It's a question. It's a question. I think it's an interesting thought. And we could talk about that on, if you can send me that, CJH, if you're still on X, send me that if you saw something about that, because that would be awesome. The comedian did kill JFK. I believe that from The Watchmen. Um Sporking had nothing to do with it. Grok and Chat GPT, deep thinking, my friend. What? Yeah, I saw the black hole. Thank you. Daredevil Born Again, you can see the reshoots are vastly better like that Punisher scene. I haven't watched the most recent episode. I know he's in it, but you could tell that um Fisk and his wife Vanessa are not pretty much in almost any scene together. Like when they're at the therapist's office the 2 episodes ago, that you could tell. But anyways, the Trump administration unveiling Tuesday of more than 2,000 documents. 2,000. I thought it was 80. Related to the assassination of JFK, set off a scramble for any scraps. And you know what? I'm telling you, a lot of it he already released in 2017 with just less redactions. And we pretty much assumed what a lot of those redactions would be. Like was it a CIA agent that people are saying, oh, he was murdered, but like we still don't know firsthand if he was. I I don't want to feed into the clickbait stuff. I'm just, maybe my title is a little clickbait, but it is from MSM, or I'm sorry, the Washington Post. I'm taking what I saw from them down in this article and going with it. As the Washington Post continues to review the more than 60,000 pages. Okay, so 2,000 documents, 60,000 pages released. Nothing so far upends the notion that Lee Harvey Oswald was the lone gunman. Come on, people. Why would it? All right, let's just go here with it. I almost feel like you have to be stupid to believe the lone gunman theory. Okay. This had to go much higher. Any, I mean, the mall cop would tell you driving in, oh God, what is that? Where he got shot? The S curved road, Daily Plaza or something like that. I'm sorry. I'm blanking on it right now, but Daily Plaza. That is a kill box, dude. You would not ever change the directions of his parade in a convertible and go down that ziggy-zag S-shaped road for just one lone gunman and a magic bullet that enters, exits, goes through another guy, the governor exits and goes back into uh JFK and exits and lands perfectly unaltered and found on his gurney in the hospital. The bullet pristine, found pristine. I mean, the idea that I just don't want to believe people in the 60s were that naive. I'm not going to say they were dumb. Were they that naive to believe that our government wouldn't lie to us? Roosevelt didn't know about the attack on Pearl Harbor enough time to warn people. Come on. It just got lost in translation. Good Japanese movie with Bill Murray. Anyways, kind of connected that. Anyway, yeah, the lone gunman shop. A Marine could discharge and load his weapon in that amount of time. Yeah, that Marine I don't believe could have. That ex-Marine. Oh, here he is. The flamiest guy on the internet. Lodana's Dragon Form.
What's up, Scotty? How are you, brother?
What's up? Are you in a bathroom?
No. Why is it coming through?
No,
bad?
I see the tile behind you. It looks like.
No, that's the soundproofing. Actually, I'm in my girlfriend's music studio, so we're still constructing.
You see that? He's like, I have a girlfriend. Yeah. Guys, I like ladies.
I'm straight. Yes,
totally
absolutely.
Like when you touch their
so
boobs, it's like sandbags. Yeah.
And they let me. Okay, let me touch them.
Did you just call her they? They let me.
Are we assuming gender right now?
Respect your pants, okay. All right. No disrespect to the girlfriend. You're the one who's a girl. What's up, man? How are you doing?
I'm doing all right. Just going through the motions. Putting life together. Got putting my recovery webs. Yeah, she's also a barber. So
oh my God! Thank God. Your freaking 80s Hessian do is gone. I like it.
Listen, I vacillate, brother. All right.
You look like you have Vaseline on you. I know that.
No, I don't. No.
Petroleum jelly. Do you have like a light directly over you?
Yes.
Okay, that's what it is. That's what it is.
This is the first time trying to stream from the apartment. So
yeah, terrible job.
You're welcome.
So, thanks for being here. So I was just talking about the lone gunman theory and how ridiculous it is and how naive people were in the 60s and early 70s to believe that and to think anybody who could look at where they drove JFK through that S-shaped road, which was Dealey Plaza or whatever you call it, and a lone gunman, that they changed the route to make him go through this S-shaped road, which is a kill box. It's a kill box, so you could get him in multiple directions. Now, the magic bullet that went through him, went through the governor, came back through him, and then landed pristinely on his gurney with no like marks on that bullet at all. To me, we're ridiculous to still believe he's the lone gunman.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that people have known that for a long time. And people, those who have tried to give their accounts of what was going on have been silenced or unalived themselves.
Or never seen again.
Never right. We're talking about the 1960s. So the age where false flag events had been working since World War One. And where news media reels and control of the media narrative, we can see it happening then. We can see how not only that, but the trust and faith that the American people had in news reporting companies and in reporters. People trusted the government at that time. But being lied to over and over again, as we have been for how many decades now. Right. It is amazing to me that it took until now to get all of these files released. And once again, the vindication of a lot of conspiracy theorists out there in their tinfoil hats. Like once again, conspiracy theory becomes conspiracy fact.
Right.
What really? So I haven't gone through these files. But I have been watching videos of people who have gone through them.
Mhm.
And one of the things that concerns me is how much it seems that Israel, the Mossad, had to do.
Okay, so I've come to kind of try to like chill people on that one for the
Okay.
simple fact that like okay, yes, Israel might have had something to do with it. They're in older documents, same documents but redacted. Their
Hmm.
Israel was covered. Okay, they unredacted a lot that tell us that Israel knew stuff. Do I think Mossad and Israel had something their hands in it? Maybe, but this isn't like new knowledge. You know, people are
Hmm.
like, "Oh, he's covering up for Trump is covering he's a shill for Israel." But like they're unredacted now. It does say Israel. I mean, Mossad is a one of the best spy agencies in the world. They're going to know
Hmm.
things. Did they have a hand in it? I don't know who didn't at this moment. Like to me,
Right.
it took a lot of people to make this happen. Starting from the VP to Hoover to Castro himself having knowledge of it to Trudeau, his father Trudeau having something to do with it to Bush Senior and his
I
cronies and
know.
Ford. You know, like Australia had something like I know a lot of people. Look, the CIA and the FBI knew about um they knew about Oswald. They knew about him. Okay? Is it they just let it happen or is it um they dropped the ball? You know?
I mean, in either case, you're going back to the actual assassination itself.
Yeah.
The what it would have taken for Oswald to have done what he has done is it's improbable.
Yeah.
It's so improbable.
Yeah.
Um, it's we have video footage possibly of what the driver turning,
Mhm.
and firing a shot. We've
Yeah, I
had,
heard about that. That was him reaching
you know,
for his wife.
okay,
Um
and
but it would
that's
be
believable.
it wouldn't I couldn't doubt that someone turned and shot him in the throat. But I'm like watching footage right now. Now they say like 8 seconds of it or 4 seconds has been disappeared. Um,
Hmm.
you know, out of this Zupart, I can never say that guy's name, film, but I don't know if the guy did reach back. The grassy knoll is definitely a spot. There's a
Yeah.
bridge. There's like a bridge overpass, which would have been a perfect spot. And then the book depository would also have been a perfect spot. You have now three different shooting advantages and also multi-leveled in the book depository. Um, I believe now I've talked about it before and we've never gone over the gemstone files. The gemstone files says yes, Oswald was involved. He was there to shoot the governor, not JFK. He was there to take his 3 shots, put down his gun, leave. Somebody else was supposed to come in, clean up his mess, take it out. That's what he thought. What actually happened was they made him the patsy. And there were other shooters that everything got cleaned up.
Mm.
I mean, you have so many eyewitnesses that we don't hear from anymore because we can't find them. That pointed and talked about the grassy knoll. Smoke. They saw smoke, you know, like
Yeah.
from gunfire. Um, it blows my mind that we people there are still people that believe in the one shooter theory. And I just don't get that. I think
It doesn't.
most Americans don't.
Well, I think on the one hand, I don't. It doesn't make sense. But on the one hand, you have people who don't want to delve too far into it. Right? Some people want
Mhm.
to keep the blinders on. They want the simple explanation. They want to put a traumatic experience behind them. And his assassination was quite traumatic. My father
Yeah,
told me a story of how his older sister, my aunt Debbie, was crying. Like the whole class broke out in tears, and they actually canceled. I mean, they canceled school, of course, and left
right.
out. But it was a traumatic experience for a lot of people at that time. I mean, to have a sitting president murdered and one of the most
Right.
likable presidents at that time.
You're right.
Um, so some people don't want to recognize the truth. They don't want to dig too deep into it. And who really wants to, if you are a patriot, who wants to look at the fact that your own government has possibly had something to do with the assassination of a sitting president?
Mhm.
And lied to the American people. Like the amount of terror that can instill in someone
Right.
to know that your government could destroy someone so powerful, their own leader.
Right.
That's a hard thing to have to face, Scott.
Right. I think Reclaim bringing up Mossad and Israel has a really good point. They were deep in that in the 60s, deep into hunting Nazis and had information in networks all across the world. So they possibility of them having information on it, pretty high. Pretty high.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. 9/11.
Inside job.
Yeah. It goes as far back as a certain Austrian painter.
Austria.
Shit is so wild. We have been lied to for centuries. Yeah, I get it,
Well,
Jonathan. Yep.
Jonathan, I mean, there's nothing new. It's nothing new for a government to lie to their people, or
Yeah.
whatever it's a monarchy or whatever type of government it is. But when you're talking about like the free world, the leader of the free world, something that we're all kind of brought up in believing, we when we pledge allegiance to the stars and stripes, is that we are the leaders of freedom. So
Yep.
how do you reconcile being the leaders of freedom with a history that shows that our governments will hide, will lie, and possibly assassinate our leaders?
Right. Right.
Is it-
Let's take a look at. Let me get this real quick. Let's take a look at the footage of the shooting.
Right.
So I want people to know, be prepared. There is a shooting. Okay. So, please, if children.
Please. Yep. No children. This is adult material, and this is for examination purposes. YouTube
purposes only, not going to be like, doing something under the desk while I watch it. You sick bastard.
I'm not wearing pants right now.
This is a little grainy and hard to see, but there it goes. All right. Is this, come on, dude. Tell me. Okay. There we go. So here we go. He's waving. Hey guys, how's everybody? All of a sudden his sign shows up and boom, right there. So some people also think this sign was planted. Like they literally put this in. I know CGH is talking about a floating tree, but I know other people that say that sign was CGI'd in. I don't know, but it does happen right as the footage. He's getting shot right there.
That is
in the
nuts.
throat. In the throat. The governor already got hit too. So he got hit in the throat. That had to come from the front, and then be prepared, people. Look away. Boom. That could have came from the back and came out. Okay. Now those are
at least 2 shots.
Yeah.
Sorry, Scott.
No. You're right. You're right. Now they said that he took 3 shots and he made 2 of them perfect. Come on. I don't believe he was that great of a shot, even if he was in the Marines, with all that tension, with what you're about to do. It's difficult to watch, but it is what happened, and they're trying to tell us it's 1 bullet too. How do you look at this footage and tell me it's 1 bullet?
Well, the military industrial complex can create some outstanding weaponry.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just unbelievable. And she was getting out of there because I don't know about her. Sorry.
It is. No, that's a true wife right there. She reached out and grabbed the back of her husband's head.
That's what she was. That's
You
what
know
they
what I
said
mean?
she was doing, was going for it. I don't know about that. I think she was running
if
for the
it's-
hills. But no, she also, okay, so in the gemstone files, it is known that, okay, so Onassis, who marries Jackie afterwards, there's a lot of people that believe that Onassis had something to do with the murder. And there was a time where she was on his island and Kennedy, like, there was something happened and Kennedy called and was like called and found out she was on his yacht, knowing that she was going to be there. It wasn't like she was hiding, but like they kind of held her hostage. It was some weird shit with that. We'll go through the gemstone files because I'm telling you, man, I've learned more from that conspiracy file than anything they've released in the past decade.
Well, I mean, everything's been so redacted.
Mhm.
And this is the issue when you're dealing with a situation where there's lies upon lies and people are covering their asses. You eventually get to a point where you're so confabulated, you don't know what's real.
Yeah. I know Reclaim hold on one second. One of my kids is here. You can keep talking.
Okay. What's going on, Reclaim? Good to see you.
He
Look
says,
at.
real good job, dude.
I was.
Look
I
at
was.
the
It's been a while.
5.56. It's designed to be ricocheted around. It enters the body and bounces around inside the body.
Hmm.
Yeah. Um, the footage out there of the driver shooting, I don't see it, man. I I've heard people saying he turns around and takes a shot, but I still have not seen that footage where I could tell the guy actually shot.
Hmm.
It almost looks, does he do it before anything happens? Because that would be the throat shot.
You
Because
would think.
the other one comes out on the right and the driver would be on his left. So like that doesn't make sense.
So, what did the
Um,
actual JF? What did the release files say about that?
Not a
I
lot.
mean,
Nothing new.
not a lot. No.
Nothing new. The actual files that we've had for decades said one magic bullet entered him, went through Connolly, the governor, and then like had to come back and hit him again to do what it did. And then it was pristine. They found the bullet on his gurney in the hospital all of a sudden.
Like, that's bullshit. I'm sorry, that's a bullshit story.
It's so bad. So bad.
Yeah,
It
that's
makes
bad.
no sense.
You can come up with
Oh.
better.
Yeah, no, he's not on the loo. Geez.
But I am not wearing pants.
Yeah. I love you English people because like the loo. It's so, you know, like
I
parade
wasn't in the
sounding.
bathroom. All right. I wasn't in the bathroom that time.
I
don't
beg to
stream out of
differ.
bathrooms.
I've heard you, why does it
My
always
first
echo like you're in a bathroom though? Discuss.
it's a wide room. It's a wide room, and
Uh,
it's empty right now. I mean that's
oh,
it, right?
okay.
And even now, almost my first video, I was in a bathroom, but that was my very first video, and I was standing, and you could see that there was a mirror. So that is the only time I was in a bathroom.
Your very first video?
My very first video, yeah, on author Stephen Walton
Oh, okay.
with the Megadeth shirt and a bald head.
Yeah. That was awesome. Before the plugs. UFO crash New Mexico. Oh, wait a minute. I now want the Epstein files, Area 51 files, Antarctica files. Yeah, dude. I feel like we're getting Epstein filed again. Like it doesn't seem to me that we got a lot of new information, but we did get something. Okay, so let me
Mhm.
scroll on down here. JFK special assistant gripes about CIA encroaching on state functions. So we did learn that one of his assistants talked about that in this file right here. The CIA should not use State Department cover as a simple answer to all of its problems, but should proceed to develop its own outside cover and eventually in this way and through increasingly efficiency of its overseas personnel find ways to temper its demands upon the State Department. So it seemed like the CIA, even though they're not supposed to act within uh, U.S. soil, leaned heavily on the State Department to help them with a lot of things.
Is this
So for
before or after the cocaine?
way before. For
Okay.
decades, the federal government kept secret parts of a 15-page memo that Arthur Schlenzinger Jr., special assistant to Kenny, shut up, sent to the president about the CIA's pitfalls and how to address them. One issue he warns of was the agency's encroachment on traditional functions of the State Department. He wrote
Mhm.
in the document, which is now unredacted, he criticizes CIA for overusing State Department cover for its employees in other countries. So, like, State Department employees in other countries are most likely working in an embassy, which is
Yeah.
United States ground. That is considered United States ground in that country. They're
Mhm.
not supposed to be working within any ground that's considered United States. You know what I mean? They are supposed to be foreign operatives. Yes,
Abroad.
right. Um, they do have CIA agents working in America. That doesn't, but not as operatives. You know what I mean? They shouldn't be working in the embassies as operatives. Like that's their cover. My cover is I'm just a, State Department worker.
Right.
Why do I, and why do I sleep with you? Cha-ching, cha-ching, taking pictures and shit.
Uh-huh.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it pretty much, it kind of removes the legitimacy of diplomacy in
Yeah.
that way too.
Yeah.
It's like,
Well, one of my favorite ones is CIA contractor tasked with procuring feminine companionship. Oh,
oh, this sounds
yeah.
spicy.
Yeah. This is 1975. File in a previous
Bush.
document release showed, that, Ford and, his boy Bush, that the CIA used Robert A. Maheu, an ex FBI agent who later was a contractor for the agency, for the procurement of feminine companions during a
Hookers.
1959, yeah, pretty much. I like to say escorts. Official state visit for someone whose name stayed hidden. The newly unredacted document reveals that someone was King Hussein of Jordan, who died in 99. So,
Syphilis.
well, we were getting prostitutes. The CIA was getting prostitutes for diplomats and kings of other countries. What did Epstein do again? What did Epstein?
Oh, right. I see what you're
Now,
saying.
people are like, why are you even reading this? It has nothing to do with Kennedy. But what did Epstein do? He liked to get young ladies and young ladies for high profile, celebrities, government officials, kings, princes. It seems like it's like the same old, play.
The same old play. And if you take it a step further and talk about Diddy, to use that as evidence to hold and control
Yep.
powerful people.
Yep. On October 24th, September 1958, Sins again something with this dude, whoever, at which time she was told she would be accompanied by a female traveling companion, Elizabeth Horgarth, actually Elizabeth Harter, FBI division. This person was told that Hogarth would
Substantially.
yeah, that's good, be her secretary, but would be in fact the person she would look to for direction. So she had a handler. That's what it must be. This one person had a handler.
A pimp.
Yeah, pretty
They're called
much.
pimps.
Talk, make them feel okay. It's all right. Everything's gonna be fine. Just
Everybody bleeds from there now and again.
yeah, just suck them off for a little bit. I mean, come on. Yeah, so there's a lot of just dirty shit that these people were doing. And they were doing it everywhere. I mean, let's see. Records of this office do not reflect any of the negative
Activities.
Oh, good. You're really good at reading. Yeah, read.
During the course of her mission, it was known that she did not. Oh boy, she did not
Meet
meet Sakaro. Excuse me. But okay, taking the glasses off. I'm old. But due to unfortunate timing that had him leaving his country on official businesses, she had little time. Oh, I'm trying to read, bro. She had little time.
I'm sorry, your eyes went crossed, and I had to show people that. All right, I didn't think you were going to catch it. And then I forgot you're reading from my screen, so yeah, that didn't work.
Let's see. Unfortunate timing that had him leaving his country on official business. She had little time to cultivate him. Consequently, the purpose of the mission was not fulfilled. The last known contact had with the agency was in the form of a telephone call on 12 April 1961, and the site called
When she called.
Thank you. It's on the sterile line. She was sterile. I mean, I don't know. And talked to Mr. Hugh Tovar, who she knew of as George Leary. She advised
Henry.
Henry,
I got
thank
it now.
you, brother.
She advised that one blah, 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 had asked her to give a party for President Sukarno, who would be in Los Angeles on 21 April 61. blank wanted to know whether the agency was interested in sponsoring this party. A negative response was given. And then in June of 95, a covert security approval was issued for the use of the HUUUUGE by IO division. I don't think that's what it says. In order for him to be approached and advised of agency interest in interrelations, labor files of this office do not reflect whether or not this was done. On 7 October 59, a covert secretary approval was granted for Mr. HUUUUGE's use in the United States. The request for approval indicated the subject might be employed by the King of Jordan to handle Jordanian public relations in the United States. Later involvement in the procurement of female company. Yeah. For King Hussein during the later state visit, the latter's state visit to the United States is set forth in the attachment. Yeah. So he was just banging prostitutes. I mean, who doesn't want
Yeah. I don't know. For some reason, Hunter Biden in China, just came to mind.
Right. Right.
With
hey, that
underage actresses. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I guess this fluoroscopic scanning was something that they developed during this, and it detected hidden technical listening devices. So it was for the first time the CIA actually developed something to find bugs. That was kind of interesting. We found out about operating in Cuba. That I don't care about because they're Cuban. CIA leveraged friends of Fidel Castro as political action assets, which is good because they're Cuban again, and we hated them at the time and still don't really care for them that much, except for the people living here. Viva la Cuban Americans.
Yeah.
This was a weird one. The CIA contaminated 800 bags of sugar in a clandestine operation.
What?
So if people don't realize, Cuba is a huge, which was, and I think still is, a huge, they export sugar. So what we did was F up 80,000 200-pound bags of raw sugar shipped to Russia.
No. What? Like, what was the effect? What happened?
Okay, let's see what they said.
Yeah.
In a covert operation, the CIA contaminated 800, but it was 80,000. You see, if you go up here, it says vessel cargo 80,000 200-pound bags of Cuban raw sugar. So did we just do like, oh, wait a minute, warehouse? Yeah, did we? I'm pretty sure that this is wrong down here. It was like 80,000 bags of 200-pound bags. On a cargo ship traveling for Cuba, from Cuba to the Soviet Union, a newly unredacted portion of this document, the contaminant was a chemical used in the process of denaturizing alcohol. The CIA wrote, adding that it would make the entire sugar shipment, 80,000 bags, unfit for consumption when it was refined in the Soviet Union. According to the document, the contaminant was not dangerous, but was so strong to the taste that it ruins the taste of the consumer for any food or drink for the considerable time. It wasn't dangerous. It just destroyed your taste buds for a few weeks. Yeah, dude.
Yeah, that's a troll.
What's up, Tina?
Hello. Wow. Looks like these folks are having some fun.
Oh yeah. We haven't gotten to your Chicago connection to the killing of John F. Kennedy. Mafia and Tina Mafia hospitals. This is the one that got me though. Washington Post reporter surveilled by the CIA. Okay, the CIA has no right to surveil any American. Just hands down. They have no right. Now, I don't care if this person was in another country. I don't care if he was up Stalin's or whoever the guy was, Khrushchev's ass at the time. You do not, if they're an American journalist and they're doing a job, Tucker Carlson, you guys don't bug them. You don't follow them. Like, I just find that to be irreprehensible. Ugh. Makes me sick.
What did they do it under the guise that the person might be a double agent or
I'll read it to you.
counters? No, okay.
So on February 20th, 1975, the Senate Church Committee, which investigate U.S. intelligence activity abroad post-Watergate. This newly unredacted memo reveals that the CIA surveilled Washington Post reporter Michael Gettler, who joined the Post in 70 and died in 2018. When this document was previously released, it had already unredacted names of the other reporters under surveillance by newsmen, which is said that the CIA did to determine sources of security leaks. References to CIA surveillance of the Post reporter who appeared to be Gettler are included in at least two other newly unredacted forms. So I'm trying to see what was their reasoning behind it. Because there was quite a few people that they followed. Employee associated
Did he
with
vote?
former-
Was he voting the wrong way? I mean, he died in 2018. The Last Jedi claims another victim. You know, it's
I think he was associating with former defectors.
oh,
So
okay.
defectors maybe to Russia. He's a freaking, the Red Scare was in the 50s. By the 70s, come on, people. This guy was a newspaper man. I don't think he was a spy. He could have been. And maybe that gives the CIA the right, but the newsmen, which was like a branch, I believe, of like Operation Mockingbird, which had just peppered media with CIA agents. They found they just saw spies around every corner, I didn't think, and there was all these different projects too. Project 8 Ball, Project Tomcat, Project Money, Project Siesta. Siesta was surveillance of on a former employee and the suspected Castro agent she was living with.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, exactly. Surveillance of newsmen to determine source of security leaks. So what that says, Brewer knew that surveillance was to determine source of publishing of classified information. Mr. Brewer questioned his superior, John Hutchinson, about the case. He wondered why the FBI was not involved and understood that the FBI didn't want to touch the case, rumor, along with, and that's still redacted. Maybe it's not redacted down here. Okay, that's why. Maybe? No? Still redacted down here.
Yep.
That's weird. There's just, they surveil everyone, man. CIA formed organization to infiltrate revolutionary Arab groups. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
That's what they should be doing.
They should. No issue with that there. Let's see. That was in May 28th, 1975. Maybe they should have done more of this. The group's goal was to develop penetrations, and or sources of revolutionary Arab groups in the Middle East. So this was done in the Middle East. So I have no issue with that. That's what they were supposed to do. But that was that for I personally don't think I found a lot of stuff that I was new. That's what I have to say. Harper, the Harper, that's something that scares me. We'll talk about that another day, buddy. Make sure if you have any info on that, send that to me on X. But yeah, is there enough new evidence? Someone's going to find something in the 80,000 docs or pages. I just don't think we're going to see LBJ did it. The end. You know what I mean? Now the
That is such a
gemstone.
shame after all these years.
I know. I
You
feel like we're
there's
just
gotta be
getting.
something.
And you know what? Another thing is too is that they've had 60. Is it now 70? 60 years, right? To get rid of what needs to get rid of. Documents that
Right.
actually had anything. Come on. Oh, there was a flood in the basement. We've gotten that before.
Well, Good Take was reading a lot of rumors in the news about the fact that is the minute the Trump administration won, that the FBI just was shredding documents like there's no tomorrow.
Right.
Yes, and if the shredder clogs up, throw it in the furnace.
Yep.
Exactly.
You know, like that quote that we heard coming out. It's scary. It's genuinely scary to see that just because of a regime change, a change of presidency, that the way that the system itself reacts to protect itself, to protect corruption, that in itself should be like a huge red flag to all Americans. I don't care what side of the aisle, what your political leaning is. That should be a huge red flag. You know, the government right now is scrambling, the people in the government, to protect itself, to protect its lies, its schemes. And what Elon's doing with those, incredible.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Yeah.
No more taxes. Our tax money has been used to fund cover-ups like JFK assassination and many other things since then.
Yep.
Our money's being used to keep information away from us, to keep us sequestered, to feed us propaganda and misinformation, and to send condoms to other countries and promote sex changes.
Right.
No.
Right. Sounds like the right thing to do. Now let's take a look at what the gemstone files say about JFK's murder. I don't know if this will help. No, it won't really help you guys read it. But so I asked the gemstone, I asked the AI with the gemstone, who killed John F. Kennedy Jr. Let me go down one. We'll go to all right. So it says, based on the information in the source, the gemstone files outlined a conspiracy theory regarding the assassination of John F. Kennedy Jr. or John F. Kennedy. I always want to throw in Jr. According to his theory, Aristotle Onassis played a central role in the assassination. Here is the breakdown. The gemstone files claim that Onassis, a Greek shipping magnate, was alleged mafia connections, had a deal with John F. Kennedy or Joseph Kennedy regarding the presidency for one of his sons. Yeah.
And the reason why they say one of the sons is
Right.
because Joe Jr. was supposed to be president, but he died in service.
Yes. Yes. And they almost lost John too. Because Joseph thought John was too fragile to be president. And he was the second oldest. So, Joe Jr. was the oldest. Onassis, feeling that JFK had welched on the mafia deal, decided to have him assassinated. Robert Mayhew, who we just talked about in the last article, who worked for Onassis, through the HUUUUGE cover. So there's another thing that goes back to that. Onassis took over Howard Hughes's company. Mayhew worked for Howard Hughes, never met him for 20 years, never met him.
What?
Okay. Dude, we will go over the gemstone files. This came out in like 75, and so many things that was said in 75, I think it was 75, we found out in the 90s was true. So I don't doubt the guy who wrote this knew a lot. Allegedly reassigned a mafia CIA team that had previously been tasked with assassinating Fidel Castro to target JFK. So the idea was this: there was a special operations, so special unit guys from the Army, Air Force, Marine, all of them. They were put together, older guys out of service, put together. They were sent to Cuba, train the Cuban rebels, and then they were going to then attack by land, and the Air Force would come in with air support. At the last minute, JFK called off air support. Bay of Pigs happened. A lot of these American, we never was reported, a lot of these American servicemen, older servicemen, died in it. So the hit team was made of the ones that survived. And these are some of the baddest men on the planet. Okay. So Eugene Brading was reportedly added to this team. The file identifies 4 shooters at Dealey Plaza. Lee Harvey Oswald, designated as the patsy, he was supposed to shoot Governor Conley, which he did. Eugene Brading, allegedly shot from a small pagoda at Dealey Plaza. I don't remember if he hit. I don't think he did. Jimmy the Weasel Frattonio, allegedly shot.
Fratiano.
Thank you,
Sorry.
Tina.
Yeah, you freaking guinea. Shot from a second-story window in the Daltex building. Johnny Roselli allegedly shot Kennedy in the head from behind a fence in the grassy knoll area. Each shooter reportedly had a timer and a backup man to handle spent shells and guns. Hunt and McCord were also allegedly present to help. Sturgis was reportedly in Miami. Okay, so all this shit we're going to go over probably Saturday. The Gemstone Files is one of the coolest things I've ever read, one of the most terrifying if it's real. And the idea that Aristotle Onassis married Jackie Kennedy after this is sickening if this is real. So what we were talking about, what? Yeah, go ahead.
Do you think she knew any of these people were behind killing her husband, or do you think that Onassis married her to just keep her busy and alcoholic and possibly drugged up enough to
and she
never
was
say anything?
I think she knew he did, and she was scared enough to marry him.
Oh, okay.
I think she was worried after
protecting herself.
Well, after Bobby got killed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's when she married him. And I think she was scared for her children. Yeah, I do. I think she was just, I've had enough of this Kennedy life. Everybody wants to kill us. I don't know if this man did kill my husband, but I know he's strong enough to protect me. You know?
I can see that. A lot of mob wives do the same thing.
Right. It's pretty terrifying. Oh, I love Kirsty. She says Jackie was said to be CIA or in training when she worked for a magazine just before and when she met Kennedy. I have heard that too.
Oh, really?
I had not heard that. Yeah.
Yep. They said that she was in training. Okay. So a lot of the times people are in training for like the CIA and they just don't make it, but they really did. You know what I mean? And I believe people have said she was one of the ones. Oh, she just washed out. She just couldn't handle it. She was part of any, like the FBI, CIA, Project Mockingbird. They had people at magazines, at newspapers, on TV, in radio, and she may have been trained as one of them. Seemed to be like, oh, I just didn't make it. Now I married this great guy who's in this influential family that a lot of people see moving up. Boom, CIA operative right there.
Yeah.
Like,
man.
Was Jackie kidnapped? I can't spell because I hit something wrong. Was Jackie? Right. Yeah, was Jackie kidnapped? I love AI. My AI overlords, I support you. Based on the information in the source, there is no however, the source do describe interactions and relation between Jackie and Onassis. According to the Gemstone Files conspiracy theory, Joseph Kennedy introduced John F. Kennedy to Onassis on his yacht, and Onassis agreed to support John's presidency. Around the time of JFK's assassination, Onassis had invited Jackie for a cruise on his yacht, the Christina. JFK, upon learning of the planned assassination, reportedly called Jackie and urged her to leave the yacht. Despite this, Jackie stayed on board and was seen descending the gangplank with Onassis in Turkey a few days later. After because there was a planned assassination that he found out about, and they said it didn't fall through, but Jackie was with him, so she wasn't supposed to be around when he got killed the first time. Yeah. After his death, Onassis was reportedly one of the first to console Jackie. Jackie Kennedy later married Onassis in October of 68 when RFK died in, was it October? No, it had to be a little bit earlier because he died after it was the California primary, right? So he must have died probably like in July or maybe a little earlier than that. And then she marries this.
June
Okay.
6th.
Okay, Joe. Damn.
Wow.
Yeah. So we're going to go over this on Saturday because it's so much fun to talk about. Okay. People dying is so much fun. All right. Next topic. I've been running my shows now at about hour 30. I found that if I do that, AI, the overlord, will then make clips on StreamYards for me and then schedule them. They schedule them for me. Every
Oh, really?
That's pretty cool.
I don't know how that happened, but every morning at 9 a.m. I have stuff going out.
Nice, dude.
Thank you, AI overlords. Okay. All right. So from Jay Anderson.
They make the thumbnail for you and all?
No, it's not a thumbnail and it's kind of crappy. Like, because what it usually does is get like a photo of like me like this. So it's not as clear because it's zoomed in, even though I probably look good. But yeah. So I try to now talk like I'm talking in shorts. Like right now, we're going to talk about the Giza Plateau. Did you know that a group of Italians used a new type of sonar or radar to give us a 3D model of not just the Great Pyramid, where they found a new chamber, 5 levels, but 2 kilometers below, showing 9 to 13 structures that look like about 600 meter springs to hold the plateau.
Yeah, those cylinders. Yeah.
Yes, they look like almost like axles with then a open chamber, 2 chambers that were 2 kilometers deep underneath that.
Yes.
Take that one, AI clip. Okay, let's take a look at what this guy said. It's
incredible. It is so incredible. And I'm glad that we're in an age where we have technology that is good enough that people who have been feeding us bullshit, narratives, false histories, been trying to hide things from the population. They can't hide them anymore. You can't hide it anymore, and that's a good thing because I'm tired of being lied to.
Yeah, right.
By archaeologists and people who want to rewrite history and keep us from really understanding the full scope of the legacy of the tribe of Earth. Of everything everything that's been hidden from us is a crime, in my opinion.
Oh, I'm with you. Don't cry, dude. It's okay.
I'm crying a little.
I saw you get a little emotional. It's fine. It's fine.
It hits my fifis. Okay. It's
all right to cry. Crying lets out all your feelings. It's all. Can I help you, child? Good night. Good night to my other kid too. Give him a hug. Oh, sugar. Give him a hug for me.
You got this.
Well, if he's already sleeping, how did he say goodnight? Lies. Why are you yelling? Why are you yelling? You're 10. I can take you. Now go. Oh, I could beat up an 8th grader. I can too. She thinks I can't take an 8th grader. He's in 5th grade. I could totally take her. All right. Here is the video from, I think his name, James Anderson? Jay Anderson.
Very well kept beard.
And narrative shattering that I have been sitting here for the last hour trying to wrap my head around the implications.
Ooh, I have a great accent.
Of what we were just told. So this is pretty much breaking news because the new findings were announced on the 16th of March at a press conference held by the team who was studying the Great Pyramid of Giza with a non-invasive technology that was first.
So yeah, this is what I was talking about before he tries to take my thunder. The synthetic aperture radar Doppler tomograph reveals. Yeah, it's the Sardip. The Sardip.
Tina, help.
Sardip.
Sardip.
Yeah, it's pretty new stuff. You guys aren't smart enough to keep up with me, but we'll let them talk.
Developed by Filippo Bionde and Corrado Malanga, called synthetic aperture radar Doppler tomography. So this was used to explore the internal structure of the Great Pyramid of Giza. And this method leverages the analysis of micro movements typically generated by background seismic activity to achieve a high resolution, full 3D tomographic imagery of the pyramid's interior and subsurface components. The recent findings from deploying this technology are nothing short of mind-blowing, because what's been discovered is that there are huge structures.
Look at that. That's under the freaking pyramid. One,
It's amazing.
two, yeah,
That's
1,
crazy.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, at least 8 of these, and they look like axles, like springs, like
Mhm.
Springs or
Axle.
pumps. I mean,
Absolutely.
yeah, pumps. Yeah,
well,
Well,
remember
those 5 buildings even, or tower-looking
those are
structures.
those are chambers inside the Great Pyramid. One of them we don't know about.
Mhm.
Because if you look at the Great Pyramid, they'll show you pictures. You'll see 4 of those. But one of
Oh,
those,
okay.
5-level chambers is brand spanking new. We didn't know it was in there. Like, it's unbelievable how much we still don't know about it.
or has
That
been hidden
yeah.
from us. I
That
mean,
too.
let's really think about it. We know that during the COOF, or we can say COVID now, during COVID, that Egypt opened up certain parts of Cairo to exploration. For like $8,000, you could go down 8 levels in a 20-level chamber under the surface and walk through the structures. So they know that they have underground structures there. They have tunnel systems. Who knows what else is underneath?
Yeah.
And I mean, so I believe that they've already known about this. And also, I'd like to bring up that, from what we know so far, there was a theory that the pyramids were power generators, and that the limestone chambers underneath the chemical reaction created by the Nile River coming into these limestone chambers.
Yes.
Right. So could that be a part
Malanga,
of
called
that apparatus?
Right. That's it.
You know?
Well, it has to be. Okay. The flooding of the pyramids when the Nile used to come and rush the pyramids in the wet season, it had to have some effect on whatever the pyramids were originally made for.
Mhm.
Because let's not forget, before the deluge, there was more land. So I still don't know if the Nile came up, but there was a time when it was, even way before that, it would have been a lake. So
Mhm.
it actually would have been in water, the whole entire thing. Like, in that, this is in the last 100,000 years. So you had a time where it could have been the lake that it was in, a time where it was probably a little bit drier, and then, but still a wetter climate. So a lot more rain. So when the Nile did flood, it came back into a lake.
Just 13,000 years ago, it was a jungle.
Yeah, exactly. So that was like the end of it. So, I mean, it's sad that we don't know much past 6,000,
What we're allowed to
9,000,
know. What we're allowed to know.
what they tell us. Exactly.
Yeah. Mhm.
Are nothing short of mind-blowing, because what's been from the base of the pyramid deep into the bedrock, in fact, over 600 meters deep.
600 meters deep, these suckers go. That's insane. 600 meters. That's about 6 football fields deep.
Yes,
If you want to
guys.
speak American.
And if you believe archaeologists, bronze chisels,
Bronze.
and hammers.
Yep.
Okay.
And hammers. Stone hammers.
Stone
Stone
hammers,
hammers.
excuse
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
Deep, which then connects to structures that extend up to 2 kilometers below the surface of the ground.
So those pipes connect to structures that, and you'll see it, that are 2 kilometers under the ground. They did it with chisels, again, bronze chisels and stone,
Absolutely.
or fucking flint
Wheelbarrows and mammoths.
buckets. Oh no, they didn't have the pulley. They didn't have the pulley yet. So it was
Oh, they
just
did the
guys
pulley, I'm
pulling it
sorry.
up. Guys are
The
And
doing
where
wheel
did
may
they
not-
move? Where did they move all this extra sand?
That's another, not just sand, rock.
Yeah, great question.
Because you have those caves in China. I forget the name of them. They have like, it's like divot marks just perfectly all the way through it, like something was scraping it, some type of tool, and they still cannot find any of the debris from those caves. Well, I'll show you a picture after this.
Hey, in Egypt, they've got tunnels that have circular saw marks, but I mean, they had no
Yeah.
electricity back then, and
Yeah.
stone hammers, guys.
Right. In Turkey, they have underground facilities that can hold 20,000 people that also have tunnels that are like 2 kilometers long going to other underground,
Imagine that.
civilizations. It's insane, dude.
2 kilometers, massive internal structures.
Look at this.
Connected to the base of the pyramid and extending
This was done
deep down.
only a
This
couple
is
thousand
what
years
we
ago,
know so far. Utilizing high-resolution radar images from Capella Space
and also
that was a lot of Jewish slaves to do that. You know, imagine the amount. That's where they were for 40 years.
They weren't slaves. They were indentured servants. We don't like to call them that. They got paid bread.
And they've also been like the richest people over the last 200 years.
Allegedly.
So, I mean, you got to give them a break.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
What kills me,
they got the restitution.
right? How are Egyptologists going to explain this away? How can you explain this away? There is no artwork depicting this at all. When Egyptians depicted fake battles they won, and the time they stubbed their toe, the pharaoh stubbed his toe walking up the steps of, I don't know,
I mean, we have detailed inventory lists and shopping lists and things of that nature that we've discovered, but we can't find out how the pyramids were created.
And those shopping lists are in cuneiform. They're in ancient Greek. They're also in what do you call the picture ones? I always forget.
Pictographs.
Hieroglyphics.
No. Hieroglyphics. You know that guy. All right.
Utilizing high-resolution radar images from Capella Space and Umbra, which are 2 private companies that specialize in satellite-based synthetic aperture radar imaging. This has allowed researchers to create a 3D model of the internal structure of the Great Pyramid of Giza. Now, this model has revealed a previously unknown chamber with 5 horizontal levels.
5 horizontal levels. So it must be one of these, because we've seen these before. One of these is new.
Yeah. So are they all for sarcophagi, or were they just like for design? I mean, because this is all about burying dead people. By the way,
of course, that we never,
about.
No one ever found inside.
Right.
Yeah.
And a sloping roof, which in of itself is an architectural design unlike any previously documented in the Giza pyramid.
Okay, so I thought, are they talking about all 5 of these? Because I swear we've already seen
We've already seen one at least.
Yes.
I know.
I've showed it on the show. And be like chemical chambers. The great the king's chamber is one of these step roofs, and the octave is made out of granite and stuff like that. All right.
But the most shocking discovery lies beneath the surface. Below ground level, radar tomography has identified vertical cylindrical structures extending for hundreds of meters beneath the pyramid. There are 8 of these cylindrical wells arranged in 2 parallel rows.
8 of them, 2 parallel rows. As observed, I guess I'll let him say it.
Descending to an astonishing depth of 648 meters. Even more intriguing, at the base of these structures are 2 massive cubic formations measuring approximately 80 meters in diameter. The tomographic data suggests that these are vertical wells with intricate spiral pathways. Now, this design not only implies a functional purpose, but also a level of sophisticated engineering that completely blows the dynastic Egyptian model out of the water. I mean, the pyramid itself.
Say it again.
Stone hammers, guys. All right.
Yeah, stone hammers. The 8 cylindrical structures identified in our topographic images appear as vertical wells, hollow inside, surrounded by descending spiral
pathways. Where would those pathways lead to? What's down
Exactly.
there? It's
Well, then they go third step. The next phase involves analyzing the uh, topographic data to determine the full extent of the underground structure beneath the Giza plateau. The topographic images clearly reveal the structure exists beneath the plateau, extending below the pyramids of Khafre, Khufu, and you know that guy, Mykonosis.
yeah,
Okay, for
yeah, we all know it.
approximately 2 kilometers beneath ground zero.
Please
As
let the Hall of Records exist and be down there.
Oh my God, dude.
Was already a massive red flag in the ancient Egyptian historical narrative. But now, with this discovery, I think it's become impossible to say that the Egyptian civilizations that we understand, that we've been taught about, were responsible for building these structures. And it doesn't even.
I wanted to finish that one part there. Right here. So, yeah, they go 2 kilometers beneath ground zero. As seen in the topographic data, which places the pyramid of Khafre at the center with Khufu's shadow on the right and that other dude's in the upper left. These structures form a vast area of non-natural constructions following complex geometries in something. Holy
brother, what if they are giant obelisks? Like the way that it was constructed. You ever think about that?
I see what you're saying. In a way, they kind of are.
Well, they kind of are. Yeah, I'm just saying, like, but if it was obelisks were recreated all over,
But the idea that they were also some type of energy source makes way more sense now, where you have these open wells that water could either be pumped up into or chemical, whatever, or in different ones at different intervals at different times, causing the plateau to do a little shaking, causing the pyramids to actually vibrate with all that quartz in there.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that. Right,
Like,
bro. Right.
Boom, dude. Boom.
Right.
There's so many things I'm thinking what it could be. But to me, that's what it could, like, actually, it would cause it to, if you shot the outside, the inside, the outside, the inside, because they're hollow inside and there's a lot of water under there, and you had some way to pump that pressure up and shut certain valves and open other ones, it would make the whole plateau shake, and these massive stone quartz and granite just vibrate. And what would that vibration cause? Some type of energy, some type of sonic or some type of frequency that causes, I don't know, total like nirvana in your brain. I don't know, All right.
Building these structures. And it doesn't even end there. The radar analysis extends beneath the entire Giza plateau, revealing interconnected structures beneath not only the Great Pyramid of Giza, but also those of Khufu and Menkaure. The subsurface network reaches down to a
Just real quick, because he's already said that. People don't realize, like, this whole area right here, is a man-made plateau. The idea that these pyramids, if they didn't create this man-made plateau that now is sitting on some type of, I mean, if you think about it, skyscrapers are on something like that, right? Skyscrapers are on these pillars of almost like to able to take any type of wind or
right.
You know what I mean? They're underneath. So they're almost like springs to settle the skyscraper so it doesn't shake too much. But these people built this so that these wouldn't sink to bedrock in the sand. I mean, it's freaking unbelievable. What if, and this is crazy theory I just had, what if the pyramids were ancient nuclear power plants? I don't know about nuclear.
I don't know about nuclear. I don't think nuclear. I think chemical.
Right. Chemical, because they have found chemical residue on different areas of the chambers. We've talked about that before. They've never found like uranium or uranium, whatever that number is, that's man-made. They've never found any of that type of fallout. So I would think it would be more likely either chemical or frequency
Yeah, yeah, I've been
with
leaning
all
toward that.
the
And
ports.
another possibility, like, what if this plateau? What if this was? What if it was buried like Black Tempe was? What if there was an attempt to bury this great
Mm.
structure?
Or
You
it just
know.
made, yeah, you never know, man. Like those wells could maybe, because I, you know, to me it doesn't look like, it looks like springs. So in my head they're springs, but they're
Mhm.
wells with like
With
just spiral
huge
passages.
walkways, bro. How many levels are down there?
Dude, how deep does it go? Like they've gone about over 2 kilometers deep and they're still finding man-made structures. Like
Hmm.
what? That's insane.
Staggering depth
Guys,
of
listen. Humanity started 6,000 years ago. Okay, guys, just remember that. All right,
Yeah.
we just
Yeah.
started farming and just started doing.
Yep.
So just let you know.
Before that, we had no clue.
approximately
Nothing.
2 kilometers. 2 kilometers. This is not possible given the standard historical and archaeological narrative given to us about ancient Egypt. Now, I'm hearing that there is more to come. There is a 4-hour presentation that's going to be released by the research team. This is what I'm hearing. That's going to go into every detail of their findings. This has essentially been a strategic release of incredible data ahead of time to get people interested. And I am more interested in this than basically anything else right now, because this is by far the most provocative piece of evidence for not only a potential technological explanation for the purpose of the Giza complex, but it also provides the most extraordinary evidence for a pre-flood era civilization that was flourishing in a way that we can scarcely comprehend. It's also possible that this spiraling cylindrical series of structures are staircases. And I can't help but think of the channeled writings of Thoth the Atlantean, you know, the
Thoth.
Emerald Tablets,
Mm-hmm.
speaking of a lost hall of records, a sacred hall of knowledge below the Giza Plateau, the halls of Amenti. Could this be the lost hall of records from the pre-flood era? Now, obviously, this discovery is extremely controversial. It runs as a complete contradiction of the established narratives and status.
Who cares? You know, like this is concrete proof.
Hmm.
You could tell
Yeah.
Zoe Zohar, whatever the frick his name is, to go shove it.
Right.
You did not.
Hawass is his last name. I
Yeah,
forget
that's
what his first
Hawass.
name is.
Yeah.
But they did not make these 8 pillars with copper chisels and stone hammers. I'm
They're for
sorry.
dead people. Okay, stop. Right.
Right. Right. I wish someone loved me this much to make a. Like,
Okay.
I'm gonna, you know,
It was a
God
lot of
dang.
prep work before they pulled their brain out with a coat hanger. All right.
And
There's a
let's not
lot
forget,
that went in.
the Great
Hey.
Pyramid only took like 20 years, they said, to make.
Only a lot of Jews.
A lot of them. A lot of them.
Mhm.
Thank you, brothers.
Thank
Lahaim
you.
or Shalom.
You've got 3 kids. Just get them some copper chisels and some rocks, and tell them to get digging and
Get
building.
digging. Yeah. They got a. I don't know if I have 20. I hope I have 20. I hope I have 20.
Quo in mainstream academia on these issues. This will cause big waves throughout the academic and the wider world if they can fully evidence these findings. But the results so far seem pretty clear. There is obviously significant structural engineering taking place deep below the pyramids and the Giza Plateau in general. Has this changed your mind on the pyramids? Has this strengthened your position on what they might have been? Has this new discovery given you any new ideas about
Yeah. Big guy, what are you going to keep talking about? Let's get back to the real good stuff.
applications are? Let me know in the comment section below. And honestly, everyone, share this far and wide. This is such interesting stuff. Don't forget to subscribe.
Look at that.
We'll just have to see where this goes, because rest assured, I'll be keeping a very close eye on any
Me
coming
too, Jay. Me too.
The
Mhm.
object labeled with the number 6, do those look like tuning forks?
I was just wondering.
Oh.
I was dude, I'm so glad you said that. I was looking at them. I'm like, are they connected to these so-called passageways? Because it looks like, hold on, let's blow that back up. It looks like these tuning forks are connected to each of the passageways, and it looks like tuning
Oh
forks
yeah.
are in the wells. What the frig is
It's
this?
either a grand hallway or a part of a mechanism.
Oh, I think it's a mechanism of something. I mean, this grand library just might be the knowledge of how the frig they built this.
Exactly.
Say it, bro. Say it.
You know?
Could you imagine if we actually got that knowledge? Like, I'm sorry, people are. I think it would expand our idea of who we are as a species. I mean, as a tribe of Earth, I think it would bring us together. But I have one question, Scotty. What if we find out that this wasn't built by Homo sapiens, but like Homo erectus? Like, what if you found that?
Oh,
would you feel bad? Would you like? What if Gigantopithecus has like built all this? Like, would that take away from your human?
Well,
Your identification?
I don't believe in the out of Africa theory personally. So I think there are Europeans that certain species of Homo erectus and Neanderthal mated and then maybe crossed into Africa, and where the Africans and another ancient hominid, breeded and then crossed with that. Like, there's just too many different genetics, and there was too many hominins, and then they all disappeared but us. So it was almost like they bred themselves out and we became us. And there's a lot of people that talk about the out of Africa theory as bunk. Just because of Europeans and the difference between Europeans and people from India have way more genetically in common than Europeans and Africans. You know what like there's what do they call it? Oh God. What were the Nazis again? They called themselves the Aryan Indonesian nation. Like there's this idea of Caucasian, Aryan, and Indo subcontinent all crossbred. Then you have Devisosians, the ones they found in Siberia, crossbreeding with something else where you get more of that Asian people, and then African species crossbreeding. Like there's just way different stuff. And that's why we all look a little different, act a little different. I don't know. We're all humans now. Don't get me wrong, but
right.
Think about that. If there's copper in those tunnels wrapped around anything magnetic, it's going to generate some form of electricity. You're right, man. You're right. And that electricity could have been what caused the water to flow up, flow down, flow up, flow down. Shake that whole son of a bitch. Vibrations. I mean, electricity, frequency, vibration, sonic. Like there's so many different things that could be happening. It's blowing my goddamn mind. And I love it. I love it. I hope you guys loved it. Them? He knocked stuff off. Yeah, that was fun though. We're gonna wrap it up. You guys have any last words? Oh, wait a minute. I wanted to show what CJH sent me about Kennedy. We'll hold off on the other one you sent me, buddy. Okay, let's see. There's how many different ones do you have? Okay. Something about the driver on this one. Let's see. Hold on. All right. Again, maybe a little bit too much for people to see. If you have children in the room, tell them to turn. All right. It says the guy turns and shoots him. Driver. Wait a minute.
So hard to see.
Is he looking backwards?
Yeah.
This guy right here. Is he looking backwards right there?
Oh, I don't know about that, but I know that Kennedy.
Yeah, look at the guy's head turn.
Oh yeah.
Now Kennedy already looks shot though.
Yeah.
So the guy's turning right now, and the front shot. Oh, Jesus Christ, maybe he did do it. There you see it. Turned. But I think he turned because he saw the first shot. I don't see the guy turn. And isn't there glass in between here? No, maybe not.
No. They didn't put the bubble out, any protection on.
If someone tried to tell me it was only a 4-man convertible, I was like, what? It was definitely a 6-man convertible.
6, yeah, absolutely.
Let's see. go with this one next.
Well, it took me 16 years to find this film because it has really been withheld. And what you're seeing here is the motorcade on Elm Street passing in front of the book depository building. Kennedy has been shot in the throat, and Jacqueline is pulling him toward her, trying to comfort him, and she's in shock. At this time, you see the driver turn around with a pistol in his left hand.
Oh shit! I think I actually
Oh,
did see
shit.
something. Is that the guy's hand come out right here?
Pistol in his left hand, firing over his right shoulder, and shoots the president directly in the head.
Oh, you could almost see the muzzle flash.
The weapon
Yeah.
is the
Mhm.
driver. His name is William Greer. He was, in fact, a Secret Service agent. The weapon is an electrically operated, gas-powered assassination pistol built especially for the Central Intelligence Agency.
You don't see any puff of smoke from.
That's correct.
See, I thought I saw something.
Yeah, I did too.
There in
Mhm.
the right-hand corner, lower right-hand corner.
That's correct. It is
Why is that?
well, it's an air-operated pistol. It's pneumatic, and it actually.
But it looks like his hand is right there.
Mm-hmm.
Pellet, which injected shellfish toxin into the president's brain, so that the actual explosion of the pellet itself did not kill.
I don't know,
toxin
dude.
Would.
That's
Did
tough.
you read all of this?
Yeah.
Because it could be just the guy
Yes,
turning
that's
around.
why-
I don't know, man.
Was
That was a good one, CJ. Thank you. The
Thank you,
black hole
CJ.
we were going to look at later. We'll look at it on Saturday. But I want to thank everybody for coming out tonight. Had a good time. Trying to keep these about an hour and a half, so AI Overlord can make me look good. Walton, working on anything? What's going on with you?
Guys, if you're interested in coaching for recovery from narcissistic abuse, please check out roguerecoveryservices.com. Thank you guys very much for being here. Please remember to be good to yourselves, be good to each other, and never again suffer those fools.
roguerecoveryservices.com.
Yep.
I can't believe you're
Going all in, brother. I've been coaching people for over a year.
You have been.
I'm very dedicated with it. Very
You are.
dedicated.
You
I
are.
want
I
people. I
do.
want people to not only survive these experiences with these deceptive manipulators, but
Yeah.
thrive in their lives and also learn how to slay the ones who abuse them or any others that may come up against them that may
Yeah.
try to use them or their children or anyone in their family to be able to recognize an abuser and be able to know how to handle someone who employs dark psychology, someone who is a manipulator and will destroy you with malicious intent, with no care whatsoever. I think that people should arm themselves, not just move on and let someone go destroy somebody else, but actually be the defense for the next person to expose these types, these narcissistic types, call them out in public so that it makes it, if anything, more difficult for them to use someone else in the future.
Amen, dude. Don't tell Mrs. Spark about this. She already says I'm a narcissist. I'm always the victim. Because I am.
Ooh.
Never my fault. Anyways, thank you. Tina, going to be on our show Saturday night. Where else are you going to be? Over on Vinny Arts?
Yep. Tomorrow at 5 p.m. Eastern. Check us out for the Friday night underground stream. And then later on that evening, join me in the chat at 9 Eastern for Ascendant Art Podcast. That'll give you a little bit of the political stuff, a little bit of the intrigue from the Friday underground, and then into all the exciting entertainment news that comes with Little Chad and Slender Dad. And then hopefully music trivia will be back again. We've been having a whole lot of fun because even if we don't know the answers to all the trivia, it's hysterical trying to remember how bad the music got once like 2005 came along.
All right. Nice stuff. All right, guys. See you Saturday night on Aluminum Spork. I hope you had a great night. We did too. Thank you for everybody for stopping by, and we'll see you then. Later, everybody. Narcissists are everywhere.
Welcome to Aluminum Spork,
Not a sport.
where mysteries come to talk.
You haven't figured out how to put a spork on that yet?
Do not talk badly to my AI overlord. That was not me, AI. That was even Walter. The narcissist.
Giants of the past, prophetic signs that last, archaeological
watermark. Where is it?
Aluminum
Tapping
Spork.
on a
Where
sport.
truth and legends intertwine. From pyramids to Giza's bone, to secrets carved in ancient stone. We're diving deep into the unknown.
Take it easy, everybody. Have a great